Many of the migrants whose overcrowded boats pitch up on the shores of southern England have often first taken to the waters thousands of miles away in the southern Mediterranean. If Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is to honour his pledge to stop the boats, he should take a look at what is happening off Italy's coast. In the first 3 months of this year, the numbers making it to Italy who form the human tide of those who hope eventually to make it to our shores are quadruple what they were a year ago, more than 33,000. The tiny Italian island of Lampedusa, closer to Tunisia than to Europe, is where many are brought when their boats fail. James, our Europe editor, is there.
The morning sun breaks through wispy clouds above Lampedusa to reveal another calm, windless day. A police launch heads out of the harbour. With the sea this flat, they know it's going to be busy. Sure enough, within hours, their colleagues return laden with migrants rescued from the 60-mile stretch of water between this tiny Italian island and the African coast. The small boats are not new here, far from it, but never before in such numbers so early in the year. The Italian Coast Guard have videoed what's been happening at sea in the last few weeks. 4,000 rescued over Easter weekend alone. Normally they wait for summer and calm seas. This year, political instability and economic crisis in Tunisia is seeing them take ever bigger risks in ever more precarious craft. So overwhelmed are the Coast Guard, they enlist the help of boats funded by charities and NGOs. Ingo Wirth and his crew saved 22 from certain death just a few days ago.
Hey, there's an accident, it's not far away. Could you take care about them because we are on the way to another accident? And we heard it from everywhere. Alert, alert, help, help. And so, yeah, we luckily picked up 22 people alive. And yes, sadly, 2 corpses, 2 dead bodies we had to pick up.
The holding centre for new arrivals on Lampedusa was built to hold 400, but frequently has double that number jammed inside its fences. For a recently elected right-wing Italian government that won power promising to stop the small boats, it's a political disaster. A newly appointed migration czar is at the camp to see the problem for himself, but seems to have few answers. The Italian people are looking for quick answers to this crisis. What are you able to offer them? Above all, he told me, we must give relief to the areas that have been most affected. From now on, new arrivals will be distributed more evenly across the whole nation, even if, right now, we still don't have enough places to accommodate them all. So, as fast as they arrive, migrants are brought back to the dockside and readied to be put on ferries, away from Lampedusa to Sicily and points north. Moving these migrants off Lampedusa is in many ways the easy bit. They must now be distributed and accommodated in Sicily or mainland Italy, often in the teeth of fierce local opposition, and with the rest of Europe agreeing to take almost none of them. The one place that most of these new arrivals will never have to go is back to North Africa. A return agreement with Tunisia exists, but no more than 2 in every 100 were sent last year. Back at the holding centre, contact with the recently arrived is only possible through the fences. Most, like Abdul Utem from Bangladesh, are clear about why they came.
My country now not good, lifestyle not good, because I need free lifestyle.
And do you want to stay in Italy or France or Germany or Britain?
Any country, I need freedom.
Mohamed Masibangora from Guinea has a route all planned.
I want
to leave here for Sicily, he said, then go on to a big Italian city, and then my dream country is France. It's a business in which huge sums change hands, but no one pays a higher price than those who don't make it. After the recent rush, coffins containing the bodies of the drowned await burial. Unknown, unmourned victims of the rush towards Europe, to lie under yet another of the many headstones here marked unidentified migrant. By day's end, more survivors of the crossing were being landed and processed in Lampedusa harbour. The sun was setting over the Mediterranean with the promise of another calm, windless day tomorrow, when it will start all over again.
Well, so far this year, more than 33,500 migrants and refugees have arrived in Italy by sea. That's almost 4 times the 8,500 that arrived by the same point last year. Well, James joins us now from Lampedusa. James, with so many people clearly desperate to build new lives in Europe, as you were just showing in your report, do you think that efforts to stop the crossings are having any impact at all?
You know, Raggy, it's not completely clear there are any efforts to stop the crossing. There's no presence of the Italian Navy there trying to stop people leaving. The European Border Agency, Frontex, has no presence on this route. What we're seeing here is an effort to stop people drowning, and that's what the Italians are doing, and it's compassionate of them. But some argue that it, in many ways, just encourages more people to try and come. So the longer it goes on, the more of a political problem it becomes. And the money involved is so huge. We were talking to people up in as you saw, at the holding centre here, a group of Bangladeshi migrants, 214 on a single boat, had paid $6,000 each. That's close to 1.3 million US dollars for one boat. Now, you put that in the context of trying to make security agreements with countries like Tunisia to stop people leaving. Well, that can bribe an awful lot of officials, and I'm not saying that's happening, but these are the problems that the politicians who here also have promised to stop the small boats are having, and of course they're taking the political blame for it.